Hi planner friends, it's Marcia with Buy Sell Plan. Welcome back. Okay, so in today's video, you may be wondering why I have all of these binders. I'm going to chat about 1.5 inch rings versus 1.25 inch rings. And what prompted this was my lineup for January is in this beautiful sailor blue classic size Franklin planner with 1.25 inch rings. Now, I have everything that I need for 2021 in here. However, I know that it isn't going to be enough room because, you know, if I have like a long meeting or I'm on the phone and I'm taking a lot of notes, sometimes I put in what's called a cutaway sheet where it's about from here down for extra room for notes. So there could be, you know, a few days in the month where I have extra sheets in there. And when it's already this full, I can't really afford to put anything else in here. So what I thought I would do is you can order larger rings from Franklin Planner, but you have to phone in. And I've heard they're under $15. So I've thought of ordering 1.5 inch silver rings to put in here. But I thought, you know what, before I do that, why don't I take 1.5 inch rings from one of my binders and put it in here and see if it fits, how it looks. I've seen online, I know MJ Planner, she put 1.5 inch rings in her cognac Anna binder and it looks really good in pictures. But you know, I want to see how it feels, and you know, not just with an empty binder, but actually full of inserts as well. So I thought I would record this and share the process with you guys in case you are also wondering how 1.5 inch rings would look in one of your binders. This is the Teresa Collins blush binder, which is just so gorgeous. I used it for a couple of weeks after getting it, and it's the 1.25 inch rings. And the one thing about 1.25 inch rings is it forces me to only keep in here what is absolutely necessary. So in that sense, it's good, but there's just nothing like the feel of 1.5 inch rings and not having to worry about what's in your binder because you will run out of room. So I'm also going to try the 1.5 inch rings in here to see how that fits. I do know of a couple people that have the Teresa Collins binder, and they say that since they put the 1.5 inch rings in there, it's just perfect. So yeah, I want to give that a try. So first things first, I asked my husband, do you have what's called an Allen key? Because that's what I'm hearing that you need. And I've heard that when you order your rings off of Franklin Planner, they do not provide you with an Allen key. So you'll have to have one to do that. So of course, he knew exactly what I was talking about. My husband, like, I'm obsessed with planners. That's him with tools. So he knew exactly what I needed. So this is a hex key or an Allen key, and it's the 2mm size. That's what's going to fit in these little grooves. So this is my teal vintage Aurora, and this is my blush vintage Aurora. Both came with 1.5 inch rings. They're so beautiful. So I thought, you know, I could just interchange these, and I thought, well, they should have their original rings, right? And I should just order separate rings to play around with. So, alrighty, without further ado, let's get started. So this, all you do is you put your Allen key in the little screw there and then turn it counterclockwise. Or is this clockwise? No, it's counterclockwise. So there you go. It's very easy actually. And it has these little holes in here where your screws go. Okay, so that is that one. Now let's take these out of the Teresa Collins binder. Before I continue, I just want to show the footprint of this with the 1.25 inch rings and how it closes. So if you look, this is without putting any pressure. It has a little bit of room there so that you can put your inserts in, and then from the top, that's how it looks. So then we'll see when you put the 1.5-inch rings how it affects the integrity of the binder. So it's very smushy, very light, fits well. I have very small hands, so it fits well if I were to pick my binder up this way. Fits very well in my hands. Okay, so this is the Teresa Collins. So I'm going to set those aside. Now my Sailor Blue Anna, I'm actually going to take out, see when I lay it flat, see how it lifts up, because this is as full as it's going to get. And I do like to put a notepad back here, but you just can't, there's no room for a notepad in the 1.25 inch. I have a full month of day on 2-page inserts. I couldn't fit 3 months, which is what Franklin Planner recommends, the previous month, the current month, and the following month of your day on 2-page inserts, and there's just no way, that would fit with everything else that I need. So yeah, makes me very nervous to think of adding things into this as the year goes on. Okay, so I'm just going to take the guts out, and I'm going to take these rings out and show you what this binder looks like with the 1.5-inch rings. And I'm going to do that first before putting the rings in, the 1.5-inch rings in the Teresa Collins binder, because what I'm going to do is I'm only using my teal Aurora for the month of December. So I really don't have a lot in here. December is a very light month, as I take the last 2 weeks of the year off. So it's a very light month. So 1.25 inch rings actually works perfect for the month of December. So I am going to be putting the Teresa Collins 1.25 inch rings in here for the month of December, or the rest of December. And I do know, because I love this binder, but I really only use it this time of year because I like the lighter colors in the spring, summer, things like that. And I know that I'm going to want to have the 1.5 inch rings in this one when I do use it later in the year. But I do want to test out the 1.5 inch rings in this binder because I want to order the 1.5 inch silver rings to put in here. And I thought of keeping the gold in here because I love blue and gold together. However, the rest of the hardware on this binder is silver. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Because I do love silver and gold. I wear a lot of silver and gold, like jewelry wise, but then I don't know. Can that work in a binder? What do you guys think? I do love silver and blue together as well. And because I intend to use this binder for January, and you know, New Year, it's where I live up here in Canada. We have a lot of snow in January and it's cold. It's very cold. So silver and blue just feels like that time of year for me. Okay. So there we go. Oh, I should have shown you what it looked like before taking them out. Actually, I'll show you with the cognac. So these are 1.25 inch rings, same rings as the Sailor Blue. So you can see how, I'll zip it up or snap it together here. See how just a little bit of an opening there, not bad, not much. And again, really easy to pick up this way, very light. Okay, let's try the 1.5 inch rings. So all you do is you line them up with where the holes are. You know what? I did try this earlier. And see how the screw just kind of falls right in? You can't actually screw this in because, oh, how did my husband explain it to me? The thread, or this is too thin. It's thinner, yeah, that's it. It's thinner than the silver. I don't know if you can see that because it's so tiny. So the gold actually doesn't, the gold screws won't work. So you have to use the screws that came with the Anna. They are silver. Get in there. Okay, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I did try this already, and if you follow me on Instagram, I did a little story showing that I was doing binder surgery, and then I had somebody comment saying, can you do a video on this? And I thought, yeah, why aren't I doing a video on this? So I did already know that the silver is what you need to put in here. So thank you for that suggestion, because I know I was very curious about this, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. How to interchange rings. Okay, so gold, silver. I love this. This pen just matches so perfectly with this binder, but there's silver on it. The hardware is silver, right? On the zipper, it's silver, and then the snap is silver. So what do you guys think? How does that look with the gold? The gold and the silver. Like I feel like if the rest of the hardware was gold, it would make sense. So you guys let me know. Am I being too picky on that? Okay, so it closes fine. I was worried because this is more of a structured binder, and I couldn't visualize the wider rings, how that would fit in here, but it does work. Now, you do kind of have to push it a little bit, and it sits open, which it does on the other one as well. Definitely much wider in the spine to pick it up. Again, I have very tiny hands, so I struggle with gripping anything really. So let's do side by side with the Anna binder, 1 1/4 versus 1 1/2. I'll take these out just so that you can get an idea. What do you guys think? I don't know if you can really see that, but the rings actually are going to, I don't know if they'll make an indentation, but they do go into the card holders. Whereas with this one, they really don't. With the 1 1/4 inch rings, they really don't. I don't know I don't think I really care about that. I think the main thing that matters to me is that my binder can hold everything that I need. So it doesn't really look like, it doesn't change. It doesn't change the width of that. So I quite like it. I'm so in love with this binder. I want it to work. Okay, so now if I were to put the guts back in it, I'll speed this part up. Okay, see how this lays flat now? And I still have room. See, there's no feeling like 1 1/2 inch rings, am I right? Okay, now let's see if I can fit my notepad in, which I think I will be able to. So something to consider is when you put a notepad in, it's kind of like putting in inserts. It will take up room, but no, look at that. So because of the rings, like I have to push it closed. So it does stay kind of open like that. And that's just because it rests on the rings, but that's okay. Now, unlike the vintage Aurora where it's a strap, so I've had these binders so full that it can only, the strap can only go in there because it's that full. So that's the issue that you have with a snap enclosure, is that you're limited. So I really couldn't put anything else in here because this wouldn't snap closed. So that's something to consider if you need to put more in. I probably just wouldn't do the notepad, which it's not that big of a deal, although I have grown used to having a notepad just for like scratch paper. Anyhow, but what this does is it pushes everything forward, so your pen loops are going to dig into your tabs. So you just kind of have to, I guess, move them up. So maybe a little bit more maintenance. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that a big deal? Is that a big deal? I think that it probably does that even with the 1 1/4 inch rings, because as I'm telling you guys about this, I just realized, can you see that? How there's a bit of a, in my card holders, business card holders, that there's a bit of a divot there, and that's from the pen loops. I just noticed that now. But you know what? I think I will still order the 1 1/2 inch silver rings. Is it still? Yeah, it still does that even without the notepad. I mean, you could just lift it up. You could just lift it up. That's okay. That is okay. So what are your thoughts? Now that everything, all the inserts are in there, what do you think about the gold rings? Do you notice that those are silver? If I didn't point that out, do you think that you would have noticed that? Is it a big deal? Let me know. I'd love to know, because blue and gold, I just love blue. I love gold. I like gold way more than silver. And I love blue and gold together. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the guts out. And I am going to put the 1 1/2 inch rings into the Teresa Collins and the 1 1/4 inch rings into my Aurora. And I will be right back. Okay, so here's my 1 1/2 inch rings and my Teresa Collins. Ah, I love gold and pink. How pretty is this? So because this binder is it's not real leather, it's very floppy and very flexible. So I kind of already knew that this was going to be okay. Yeah, I like it. So that's how that looks. So a bigger gap here. It did close a little bit more when it had the smaller rings in, but when you have it full of inserts, it's not going to matter anyways. Yeah, very light. It's a light binder anyway, so this doesn't make it heavier, or I don't even feel like it bulks it up. It does, they stick out more, so they will go on your card holders, if you can see that. So again, if that doesn't bother you, I don't know if it will, they don't rest against the card holder, so I don't think that it will indent it. So let's see how it looks with full inserts. Okay, so it is full. This is everything I have planned for 2021 in here. Okay, so it did take a little forcing to get it closed, because now that the inserts, it's weighing it down on this side, you do have to give it a little push to close. And I feel like this closes easier than what this one did. I found this one I had to really pull, but this one I didn't. Probably because, again, it's not real leather, so it's almost like it's stretchy because it doesn't have that structure. Feels really good, actually. It's not as heavy. Yeah, can you see that okay? I like it. I think it looks really nice. And I found with the 1 1/4 inch rings, actually, it would move a lot this way, because the inserts are heavy, and so it weighs it down. And so I found that there was give that way, but I don't feel that with the bigger rings. Actually, it's almost like it's meant to have the bigger rings, because everything just seems to stay put. There's not that much give this way. Because I didn't like with the smaller rings how a lot of times when I'm looking at it, looking down at it, the bottom would kind of stick out more than the top because of the smaller rings. So it's almost like the guts of it were weighing it down, so this part wouldn't move. So then when the top closes, it would be shorter than the bottom. I hope that makes sense. So whereas this way, it's like it's meant to be like this. Anyhow, I love it. I love it. I'm probably going to order the gold 1.5 inch rings too, so that all my binders have rings in them. But for January, I am still going to use my blue because it's just gorgeous. So yeah, please let me know what you think about the gold in the blue. I would love your opinion on that. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't too boring for you. So again, it's the 2mm hex Allen key or hex key. That's what you will need if you do plan on doing this yourself. And yeah, so I'm going to put everything back in here and continue as planned for January. So let me know if you have any questions. And again, for 15% off Franklin Planner goodies, use my code buysellplan at checkout at franklinplanner.com. And if you are curious on these clear dividers, if you haven't watched my unboxing, these are from Dividers Are Us, and you can get 15% off using my code Marcia15, all caps. It'll be in the description. I like these because they're very thin and they do not bulk up your planner at all. And she makes them for the Franklin Planner Classic size. So, okay, thank you so much for stopping by and taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.